plenty of action happening at Manchester United. We began the show, David, talking about United's desire to secure the services of a number of men in suits. Talk us through who they're after.
Suits and tracksuits, Rebecca. But the background to this is obviously Ineos are coming in as a 25% owner of Manchester United. They received Premier League and FA approval last week. So next week, in the coming days, we are finally going to hear official news and confirmation, ratification that they are in at the club and they have sporting control of Manchester United. They are wasting no time getting about their business. Of course, I revealed in January that Omar Barada would be arriving as chief executive from Manchester City. He's on a gardening leave period. He'll be coming in the summer. The second focus is a sporting director, and their preference, their top target, is Dan Ashworth of Newcastle United. I think the feeling at Old Trafford is that he is going to be coming in. They've made an approach to him. He has let Newcastle know. There's been no club-to-club approach just yet. Newcastle will be looking for high compensation for him. Manchester United will not want to be held to ransom, so they're prepared to wait if necessary, even if it means quite some time before Dan Ashworth comes in. And maybe they make some more appointments in the meantime. One of them, a possible technical director, I revealed last week, Jason Wilcox, the director of football at Southampton right now. He was formerly of Manchester City and worked with Omar Barada. So there's some background there too. There's been no approach to Southampton yet, but they and he are aware of this. Let's see how it develops. He would work into the sporting director. There would be another key appointment to work across Manchester United, Nice and Lausanne, the group clubs owned by Ineos. And then within those key appointments, they would be empowered to build their own teams, a sort of top-down approach. So you could see more coming. They've been linked with Kyle McCauley, who's an analyst at Chelsea, used to work with Dan Ashworth at Brighton. Sam Jewell, a recruitment specialist at Brighton, used to work with Dan Ashworth, although I think it's more likely he goes to Chelsea. And that has all prompted links that maybe the future manager is Graham Potter. But as far as I know, Ineos are fond of Erik ten Hag, and they look to build forward with him for the time being. It places uncertainty over current staff members, of course, so we'll have to see how that plays out. It's business as usual for now, but there's a major focus on the stadium too. Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to turn Old Trafford into a Wembley of the North, we're told, whether that be building a new stadium on the same site or redeveloping Old Trafford. And just on Friday, Trafford Council announced some pretty grand plans to rebuild the local area, which are very impressive, and that would include creating a world-class stadium for Manchester United, which is something they have not had for quite some time now, and I think it will excite fans. We're not going to stop talking about Manchester United.
Never, never, David. Thank you so much. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.